Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another monthly music find. This is going to be for November 2024. Again, as I always say for these videos, I'm only going to show record CDs that haven't really been shown. There are a couple of exceptions to this video, but I'm like referring specifically to VCLT videos. I'm referring this month especially to Record Store Day because I showed three records that I picked up Record Store Day. So I'm not going to be showing those records, though I have listened to all of them and really enjoyed listening to those records. Happy to have all three in my collection. But yeah, I've got, I think for the first time in a while, more CDs um, than vinyl records. So let me go ahead and start with the CDs. First off, again, as I like to do, I'll start with my cousin Ethan. He gave me this earlier in November. This is Dan Auerbach's first record called Keep It Hid. I enjoy this a lot. It's pretty much the Black Keys without Patrick Kearney, in my opinion. I much prefer his later stuff that he's done solo, but this was still enjoyable. So thank you, Ethan, for that. I did pick up some Christmas albums from Real Gone Music. Real Gone was having a really nice sale around the beginning of the month or so, kind of a end of clearance thing. End of year clearance. It wasn't related to Black Friday or Cyber Monday, so these were like $5-6 CDs to fill out some Christmas collection spots that I was missing. This is Season's Greetings, The Fantastic Strings of Felix Slatkin. This is pretty good stuff. It's I really enjoyed it. It's got liner notes by his son Leonard Slatkin. Just really solid. String kind of light listening music in the background. I really enjoyed it. Kind of in the line of like um, kind of Arthur Fiedler without the big horns, but yeah, really good stuff. I'm happy to have that. Next, I picked this up. This is a Stanley Black Christmas Holiday for Romance. This is pretty much just light music. This is kind of like Christmas, um, you know, cocktail hour, elevator type music. Really enjoyed it. Is it mind blowing? No. I think the reason that it kind of didn't quite hit home for me is that it has a couple of songs that are just unrelated to Christmas, though it's supposed to encapsulate the sound of Christmas, like a song called Dreaming, Cinderella Stay in My Arms. He does like the lullaby, like children's lullaby tune. So kind of interesting, like a mixture of songs. But then he also does White Christmas, Winter Wonderland, Rudolph, that kind of stuff. And then I picked up, again, the last two from Real Gone, two volumes of Robert Shaw. This is Robert Shaw Conducts Christmas Hymns and Carols, Volume 1. I love the album cover. That's a big reason why I purchased it. But this is essentially, it's all vocal a cappella music. It's really good. Uh, Pretty much every song on here is part of a medley. So, I mean, it's 8 tracks, and then they have two bonus tracks, but the 8 tracks essentially are all, like 5 minutes long. But again, mostly, mostly hymns with a few secular tunes like Deck the Halls. Um, but I mean, most of the stuff, it's "O Come All Ye Faithful," "Way in a Manger," "Silent Night," "Coventry Carol," stuff like that. So there's Volume 1, and then again, like I said, more of the same, which I love this album cover. This is Volume 2 of the same thing. Again, stuff, Cherry Tree Carol, I Saw Three Ships. This one has a few more of like the traditional English tunes, like Foom Foom Foom, um, Mary Had a Baby, um, Carol of the Bells, stuff like that. So happy to have those Christmas records. I showed this one briefly in my write up in my review of the Dory Freeman Rick Robertson show, but I did pick up the second Dory Freeman album, Letters Never Read. This is the second album she put out. Really love Dory Freeman. She always has a great show. Singer songwriter, really sweet voice. I love it. So Dory Freeman. And then lastly, for the CDs, I picked up the newest from Willie Nelson. This is his second release this year, produced by his son Micah. This is called Last Leaf, which is named after the Tom Waits tune. I haven't listened to this yet. I just picked it up a couple of days ago on Black Friday at Barnes & Noble, but he covers Beck, The Flaming Lips, Tom Waits, Neil Young, Warren Zevon, Keith Richards, and yeah, so like a couple of tracks like Broken Arrow by Buffalo Springfield is on here. Keep Me in Your Heart, the Warren Zevon tune. House Where Nobody Lives, is, Tom Waits. So happy to have that as well. There's a mini documentary on YouTube that you should check out about the making of it. So the last few pieces are going to be vinyl. I picked up a couple things. I got sucked into the Black Friday sales email list. Craft Recordings was doing a really solid sale, so I picked up a couple of jazz albums that I was missing. This is Bill Evans Trio, Portrait in Jazz. This is the 2011, I think, reissue. The OJC comes in this really nice kind of thick plastic on the Riverside label. Yeah, I love Bill Evans. This has, Come Rain or Come Shine, Autumn Leaves, Witchcraft. What is this thing called Love? Just, classic standards that you're used to hearing on these types of jazz albums. So if you like just straight ahead piano jazz, get anything really by Bill Evans. I love him to death. He's fantastic. Also picked this up from Craft. This is the Lyrical Trumpet of Chet Baker. Just really, really happy to have this too. I am beyond happy to have a Chet Baker record finally on vinyl. This has How High the Moon, September Song, You and the Night and the Music. This probably should have been an album that I listened to in the fall, but I couldn't, I could afford it, but I didn't want to buy like the $30 version. I'd much rather buy it for like $10. So that's what I did. This is Craft. This is the cut from original analog by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. So solid pressing of that to have in the collection. Picked this up as well. This is a new record, the latest from Andrew Gabbard, Andy as his friends call him. This is called Ramble Ray Vaughan. If you know my channel, you've heard me talk about Cedar City Sweetheart from a couple of years ago. There is the cool blood, kind of black and red splatter wax. This is on the Karma Chief label. Really, really cool. And if you like, kind of like that cosmic sounding country, his sound is really cool. He has a relation to Dan Auerbach, who I talked about earlier. He's the touring guitarist for the Black Keys, and he's kind of done his own thing with his solo career. He did a thing with his brother called the Gabbard Brothers, and this is his third or fourth solo record. So if you like that kind of, spacey kind of music, songwriter stuff, check this out by Andy Gabbard. And I think this one is the limited to 200 Coal Mine exclusive. This was a big treat when this was announced. This is, and my buddy Brian over at Shamrock and Records is happy about this one. This is Mignonette. This is the fourth studio album by the Avett Brothers, the third that was really kind of officially released. This is kind of the Avett's first foray into like really looking into their songwriting, I think. It's a long record. It's 4 sides from 2004, I believe. This is the only vinyl copy that's out there. Like you can only get it as a 2024 edition. It was only released on CD. This is really in conjunction with their new Broadway musical called Swept Away, which is about a shipwreck, about the ship called the Mignonette. And so like some of the songs on here kind of relate to that. It's not a concept record by any means, but it was inspired by a shipwreck that happened, hundreds of years ago. Really beautiful packaging, great trifold here with a very young Scott and Seth Avett there, Bob Crawford, their bass player. Really love the packaging. The only thing is it's one of those records that doesn't fit in the normal outer sleeve, but it's kind of on like that dark silver wax. The album sleeves are fantastic in themselves with some great pictures the early days of the Avett Brothers. There's some handwritten lyrics on the sleeves. Here's the other one. So if you like the Avett Brothers, there are a couple different variations of this with different colors depending on where you buy it. You know, their store, Amazon, you know, the same thing that everybody does. So happy to have that. Some great tunes on there. And lastly, this is actually what I was listening to. I'm filming this on my lunch break. This is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the Gennaro tapes, live in Edinburgh, Scotland, 1982. This is during the Long After Dark tour. Obviously, there's a big to-do with the Long After Dark era this year. There was a vinyl reissue of that. There was the Heartbreakers Beach Party movie, the MTV movie that Cameron Crowe directed that was, you know, re-released in theaters for a couple of days over the fall. And yeah, this is kind of like the final piece, from what I understand, of the celebrations this year. There's all sorts of merch online that you can get at the Tom Petty store. But essentially, this was a bootleg tape, essentially recorded, taken straight from the tapes, and not really touched up at all. But there's some great photos inside there. Again, 3 record set. Comes with a, and I might do a review on this, comes with a really cool, like, handwritten, you know, quote, unquote, insert about the show from Tom Petty himself. So very cool, and it's got all the hits up to that time. And you know that this is early because they start with, you know, American Girl, when, you know, obviously, like, in later concerts, they would always end with American Girl. But a lot of stuff from the first couple records, up to Dan the Torpedoes, you know, American Girl, Listen to Her Heart, I Need to Know, Don't Do Me Like That. And then, you know, new tracks from Long After Dark, like You Got Lucky, Straight Into Darkness, One Story Town. Yes, and then they do some really cool covers like I'm in Love, the Wilson Pickett tune, Louie Louie, Stories We Could Tell, which they always would do. Well, for many years they would do So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, Shout, stuff like that. So really, really happy to have this. It sounds a lot better than I thought it was going to sound. There's the set list on the back if you want to pause it and take a look to decipher that. And I'll show you, again, I've listened to the 2 out of the 3 records. It's on this really cool blue. This was limited as well, like at least this color to the web store. So very happy with my finds this year, all this month, all killer, no filler. So let me know what you think of these. Let me know if you picked up any of these yourself. And yeah, 1 more month of the year. So that's usually when the vinyl buying is really pulled back. And, you know, I might do like a Christmas, you know, kind of vinyl haul at the end of December. So anyway, that's all I've got for y'all. Comment, all that stuff, subscribe. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. We'll talk to you in the next one. Bye now.